dun 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 dun. What's up, guys? It's 3DB bringing you an amazing video. It's this green goblin helmet. A lot of you guys seen that one. That was something that I did on my CR10S. Is my first print. One of my first prints on a wearable helmet. As far as when I first got one of these bigger printers, I started off on the Ender 3 Pro and then worked up to the CR10S. I was reviewing the video that I made for this, and I don't think it was the greatest. As you guys know, the new Spider-Man No Way Home is coming out, where you get to see a sneak peek of the Green Goblin. So that's exactly why I wanted to do it, as well as this is one of my favorite supervillains. Tobey Maguire was my favorite Spider-Man. This Spider-Man was one of my favorite movies. So yeah. This video is going to be a lot better than the last one, so stay tuned. As always, if you like the video, definitely hit the like button. Definitely hit the subscribe button, because as you see, I'm always working on something new. My printer's always going. It gets no breaks. And then definitely hit the bell notification so that way you know exactly when I post them up, that we can learn and try along with me. Other than that, here we go. Okay, so first things first, this green helmet here, this was the DO3D free file, and that file was done at 100%. This is the exact same file, I just knocked it down to 80%. Now, I did a video on this Green Goblin helmet, but that's kind of when I first got my CR10S, and I was still kind of new to YouTube. So if you see that video, it doesn't really do much justice onto how I did. Like, I watched it, I mean, I show you how to assemble it, but it was very quickly and not as in depth as my videos. So I'm doing it again. Not only that, I took this to the expo that I went to in Boston, a fan expo, and this got a lot of good reaction. I'm guessing because the new movie that's coming out for Spider-Man, No Way Home, which is another reason why I want to do this as well. But yeah, there are a couple things that I mentioned in that last video that you can see now. So if you look at this helmet, the one I did at 100%, let me just get some more light. Again, the reason I did this again is because you can see the finish is not that great. So let me show you guys under some light. You can see like I did some soldering there. And now the reason why I'm bringing that to you guys' attention is because just like I said in the other video, I had split this jaw in half. So this piece below was just just these teeth right here. And then this part under the eyes and below, I had flipped. So it kind of looked like that, but just split in half. And the reason I did it is just because of what I mentioned to you guys, the support. So you'll see the teeth didn't come out the best. So I printed this upside down. So you see where those teeth are. Came out good, but these did not. And that's just all because, again, I just printed it just like this. I did have supports on it, but it didn't really help too much. So, yeah. Excuse me if you guys heard that. My puppy was home all day today by himself. But back to the video. This at 80% it came out perfect. It came out, the ears. That was the second thing. As you see on this one. So you can see that the ears didn't fully finish printing on that one, but they did on this one. Now again, I was new to 3D printing. I think I did this one at like maybe 5% infill, just because I only had one printer at the time, and that was taking pretty long. This was one, two, three pieces, three big pieces. All took over a day. Adding more infill would have took even longer. So I did it at a lower percentage. This one I did at 15, so this one's a lot more sturdy. The ears came out perfect. Everything came out good. So this is a revisit for me. Again, I like the Green Goblin character from that movie. I like Tobey Maguire. I think, like, I haven't seen any of the other Spider-Man movies ever since Tobey Maguire stopped, just because that's my Spider-Man. Just like for Transformers, once they took Shia LaBeouf out, I kind of just like fell off, because I loved Transformers as a kid, and then they made Hot Shot Bumblebee, so that was kind of already one like issue with me there, and then they took out Shia. I was like, Shia's my favorite actor, so I was like, yeah, that's no bueno. Along with this file, so before I even did either of these, I had my Ender 3, and I can't find it right now, but I actually have a file for his bomb as well. Just like I mentioned to you guys in my other videos, I am looking at Adafruit as far as electronics. So that's going to be another cool one, is making his bomb and making it light up as well. So I was trying that with my first build, but I was a novice. I found it actually. So that's that there. So you see I didn't even really finish it. This was a see-through filament. And then it comes with like studs on the opposite side, so that way you can just easily put those two together. And what I was going to do was color everything in, and where you see the lines in between, that's where you see like the light as well as at the top diffuse through on his bomb. So that was kind of my plan there. So definitely going to be taking both of these and redoing them and mastering them. Another reason why I'm doing this is because I found a perfect paint. So this is just like a forest green paint, which came out great. I'm not mad at it at all. But I found like a pearlescent, it's a tongue twister, that's like that greenish, but it has like that purplish look. Pretty sure you guys have all seen like Fast and the Furious, where you see like two-tone cars. You look at it, or you probably seen it in real life, where you see like a greenish purplish car. You walk onto like a different way. It's like a more purple than green, or more green than purple. So yeah, I found something like that. So this one's gonna be a huge one, guys. Again, the movie being a big inspiration. I like the Green Goblin, honestly. He's one of my favorite villains. His helmet was like one of the sickest helmets. I remember when Harry had found his father's room and then seen all the bombs like lit up. It was just like, a lot of cool stuff there. So this one's gonna be a fun one, guys. It's all printed. Came out great. Not much sanding I'm gonna have to do. It's just assembly. Stay tuned. All right, so I just got finished sanding everything. From my last video, I would say there's probably one difference, maybe two, from how I work on my finishing process. So the first one is a lot of people get like really into like the Cura settings. Like I use Cura as my slicer. Not much of what those settings do really affect how this print comes out. Of course, yes, it does as far as like infill, the type of way that you're printing it, so on and so forth. But a lot of those settings, to be honest, are still factory set for me. A good level bed, a well put together machine, that's where you're going to start to see the difference. So as far as myself, my prints come out smooth as is. I mean, you'll get like the occasional like where supports were, like little things like that, but for the most part, everything comes out good. So for sanding, I've only had to go or start from like 180. I used to use like 60 and a lot higher, just to knock down a lot of the lines. Like some of the lines, I don't know if you can see clearly, but that's smooth to the touch. Like you might get a layer line or two, but the 180 knocks it down for me. And then from there, I hit it with the 220. Now that's the same thing I've been doing, but one new thing that I've added was this wet and dry sandpaper. Now this makes a huge difference, especially coming after these two. It just like from the way you touch the print after wet sanding, it just feels like I don't know like what word or what texture I can explain, but it feels like baby soft. That's the best I can come up with. It feels very very good after you wet and dry sand. So I hit it with the dry first, of course 180, then to 220, and then 400 to 800. Now you don't have to do that. I mean, you can start at 60 grit if your print needs. Go as low and as high as you possibly need. I've seen some of these wet and dries go up to like 1500, 2000. Like you can go a lot higher than what I'm doing. But for me, this works for me as far as like finish and getting the results that I want. So this is where I pretty much go to. 180, 220, 400 to 800. So these I weren't using before. I'm pretty sure I made a lot of references to wet and dry sandpaper that I would try it. Ever since I have, my prints have been 10 times better. Number two is going to be the Bondo. Now, I still use and I still have wood filler, but the thing with wood filler, it cakes up a lot and it takes a long time to dry and harden. With this Bondo, it's very quick. The only thing is just the fumes. So I go outside, um, open up a window. You just want to be somewhere well ventilated because this stuff stinks, and it's not like one of those like stinky smells that like smell good like pine sol. I know a lot of people like the smell of pine sol, but you're not supposed to sniff that. But yeah, this stuff you don't really want to smell. It doesn't give you like a great aroma. It's all bad. But yeah, after I wet and dry sand everything, any patches, any holes that I see after primer or in this stage now, I'm using this. It comes with a red hardener, so you know when everything is mixed together. But you just want to move a little bit quickly with this. So what I'm about to do now, this part I actually didn't even do on the first helmet. So this goes to the back of his head and gives that point. That wasn't on the original helmet that I did, so that's something new there too. But what I'm about to do now is just let everything dry off. take out the soldering iron and then start putting these all together. Once I do that, I'm just going to sand where they meet, bondle so you can't see the layer lines, and then get ready for primer. Alright, so that was fun. That just shows you guys again, I said there's for some reason every video I mention super glue and why I hate it. It just always seems to pop up, but again, that's why I don't like it. This stuff is instant. I lined everything up, and I use a soldering iron to pretty much melt the plastic up again and get these lines together. So the good thing about it, I didn't cut off all the supports, like you'll see some of it in there. That came from the skirt when I print it. So I was able to like heat some of that up, lay it down, and then on the inside. Lay it down on the inside and then melt it together like that. So that's going to help 10 times there. I didn't do that on purpose, but as I was connecting everything, it just kind of happened and it just kind of worked. So you learn something new or you try something new all the time. Let me turn this on. Yeah, but well, you can see some of it right here, what I'm talking about, where I let some of it hang down. That's going to be easy, just another thing of sanding. Like I said, I'm going to put Bondo over most of this, where I seamed, so that way you don't see that. I like it though, this fits perfectly at 80%. But all you want to do is heat up the soldering iron and then just weld the two parts together. In like a stitching kind of bracing kind of fashion. So I take the heat and iron and just like rub it over. Left to right, left to right, left to right. Very gently, making sure not to burn too far. But then when I get on the inside, you guys see me using the same thing on the inside. I can go a lot tougher because it's not going to be seen. So usually on the outside, I just kind of like line everything up, make sure there's no gaps. And then on the inside, I reinforce it with like brace marks, real deep brace marks, so that way it doesn't come apart. And it looks amazing. Alright, so now is the fun stuff. Just going to add some of the Bondo. But before I do that, I'll probably just take the 180 again and just sand the parts where I weld it, just to make sure there's no like new thickness, new layers or anything like that. And like I was mentioning, so you can see the difference. So on this helmet, I stopped where the red stops, but now you can see like the tip that I added, that wasn't on this one. But again, this is at 100%, fits me. Like if I did that back scoop, that would be like humongous. Alright, but time to get back to the fun stuff. Stay tuned. Alright, so this is the gloss black that I'm using. The Krylon glass blacks, or the Krylon primers, I kind of like those a little bit more than Rust-Oleum, just a little bit more, just because the finish on them. I feel like the Krylon gets in between the smaller little gaps a lot better than the Rust-Oleum. But that's pretty much almost it. The gloss black finish pretty much comes out the same way. It's just this hides a little bit more for you. The color I'm gonna be using, dum 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 dum. So like I mentioned to you guys, when I went to AutoZone, I was looking for something completely different, something for my car. I found the red that I did the Iron Man gloves on, and now I found like this two-tone color. I did it on my phone so that way you guys can see it. It's like those cars that you see, like you see how it's green there, but then purple there, and then green there, and then purple there. I got it. So I think this is gonna work out perfect. The last green that I used was the forest green on the Green Goblin helmet, which that came out good. I'm not mad at that at all. But if you look at the pictures in the first Spider-Man movie, he kind of has a two-tone, so that's why I picked this one. You kind of get the green with that purplish effect. So I'm going to spray this on. It says to do it with the gloss black, so that's what you just see me do, add the gloss black. If this doesn't come out like the way that I wanted it to, then it's a pretty simple fix. Just another layer of black, and then I'll just use that forest green again. But I'm really hoping, and I really think that this is going to like do it. And it's going to like make a big, huge difference. But this is it right here for the two-tone. All right, so take my word for it. For some reason, you guys can see, like, during the spray, that the spray was given like a little bit of like a whitish like film was coming out of it. I don't know. In the camera, it's not really picking it up. Like there you can see it. You can see like the green and purple. I don't know, maybe it's just my eye. But it does look like the two-tone like in person. Right now it looks like through the camera it just looks like a solid stiff metal. I don't know. Maybe it just has to dry a little bit more. But I like the way that it came out for sure. You can see it in some of the other videos where it was like a little bit lighter, where it does have that two-tone effect. I don't know why it's not picking it up on the camera though. That's so weird. If I bring the contrast down a little, maybe. That's weird. But I like it. So this is definitely one of the Adam Savage one-day builds. That's how long it took me. Besides printing everything, I think everything, the mouth and then the top of the head both took a day, and then the back scoop here took about 7 hours. Other than that, I assembled everything today, bondo everything today, primer, everything that you've seen in the video was literally done in a day. So this is gonna go as a one-day build. Like I said, I'm repeating it. I've already done it. So I kind of already knew what I had to do. Ta-da! Now it's just going to be a matter of me just adding in some of the effects for his eyes. And then just like the mouthpiece. But everything else is all set. It's beautiful. Spider-Man. This thing is amazing. I love it. Like I said, it fits much better than the other one. The color came out amazing. I really enjoy it. I like it. And it was done so quickly. Oh, there we go. Now you guys can see the tone better. There we go. Yeah, so like I said, next thing with this helmet is just gonna be me fixing up the eyes, just getting the lenses in there, and then the like mouthpiece that he has there. Other than that, that's a wrap, guys. This is my first redo of a print. Let me know how I did in the comments. I definitely hope this one helps you guys out a lot more, because the first one was kind of like, again, it was my first try at YouTube. It was my first tries at making a video. So I didn't really know much of what to do or how to really do it. So that was like my first try, just get warmed up in the building. So now I feel like a lot more confident in my builds. I feel a lot more better and more confident in my process. So I'm more confident in showing you guys exactly how I do what I do. So definitely, I hope you guys learned something, especially from the last video. And I hope you guys are looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie. You might see me in theater with the helmet. No, I'm just kidding. The next print up, I'm working on the Green Goblin bomb. So the same bomb that you've seen in the preview. I'm going to be working on that. Like I said, I'm going to be using some Adafruit's technology to bring that to life as far as lights. All of my other prints that I'm going to be doing moving forward are not only just going to be the prints themselves, but how to add electronics into them as well, because I think that's pretty fun. It's pretty cool, is making your prints lively. So that's my next feature. It's my next thing that I'm learning. It's a lot to learn, but it's fun at the same time. It's what I like to do, work with my hands. As always, guys, it's 3DB. If you like the video, definitely hit that like button and subscribe. I'm working on something new all the time, as you guys can see in the back. My room is like filled with prints. I'm running out of space for them. But definitely subscribe and then hit that bell notification so that way you always know exactly what's going on. It's 3DB. Thank you guys. God bless.